6th day, 6th month, year 2022, just after 6 p.m. I think I laid this over there, no telling how many weeks ago. That's too heavy and big for me to use as a throw baton, and I can't throw with my left hand, left arm. I need to clarify that. One reason I turned on the camera, I didn't know I'd be down here this long. I didn't. It was a hot, humid afternoon, icky. I was looking at the after I got dropped off by a driver from going to town in Norman, Arkansas, after I got back home like so many hours ago. I'm looking, it's like my porch thermometers are saying 87, 88 degrees. I'm like, I don't know what the heat index is, but it's got to be around 90 plus, 92 degrees. Because we had a heavy rain this morning, and then the sun comes out and it's evaporating that moisture. Doesn't that increase the humidity? But really what I'm wanting to show, and I can't do, no offense to YouTube, I think they consider a short if you do it with a dead on 60 seconds. It's still, I think, classified as a YouTube short, or if it's something that's edited or not. If it's no longer than 60 seconds. But what does the short allow you to do? Up to 30 seconds max from the application. That's just enough to get me into a lead in, and I don't even get to. I need a 15 to 20 seconds more to finish one or two more sentences or one more two frames. Okay, really, what I'm wanting to do with this, and I'm finished. The signs of floods. What puts this here? You know how it gets there. Think of the elevation. The rapids are slightly up now. And then all this flow, not all of this flow, the bulk of this flow, I don't know the percentage. I'm not that smart. No, by no means. It goes from here to Glenwood, Arkansas, or places between here and Glenwood, Arkansas. It typically, if we have a bad flood here going on, or call it a true flood or not, or an elevated higher rapid level, sometimes people keep track of the rapids, river stages, or whatever. I don't know much about it, so it may not be always classified as a flood, even if it has a higher than normal rapids. Because sometimes if we're in drought-like conditions, whatever from the early summer season to almost late fall season, I got to put a new flea and tick collar on her because she gets it. I laid that one there, I bet. She gets damp. It says water resistant, but that don't count for her because she's a water dog. I was in the water after I first got here, just watching her get in the bank, and she's just circling around for the purpose just to cool off. That's what I was talking about, how hot and muggy it was. Maybe something to eat it. I'm gonna follow it. Oh, there! Yep, that little fish got it. Wherever that little minnow is, that tells you I don't know if the camera got it or not. I'm not even smart enough to know what kind of little minnow that is. The name of it. It wasn't a little bass, I'm pretty sure. Smallmouth or largemouth. Really what we have, I think, through here are called brown bass. Brownies. That would be the native bass. I don't think largemouth or smallmouth are native in this part of the river. Brownies are. And surely they're not called a Kentucky bass. I don't really know. I just learned in the past so many years, and I'd like to know. I would love to know with someone educated. And I talked to an old hillbilly, let's call him a retired logger. I'm like, I have seen baby catfish through here. But I've seen up to 3 different looking ones. Unless there's a different in breed, there's up to 3 different kind. I've seen them more than once. I only learned this up to 7 years ago or less. I'm very intrigued by it. And I don't know the names of them. I don't know if one's a blue channel. I don't know if one's a mud cat. And then one, it's like black with spots on it. What are these? Are they all catfish? They gotta be. So that means catfish that never get big, but they're through here, but they mature and stay under the banks. They gotta be. They're breeding. Surely the government is not sneaking in little baby catfish or whatever aspect of an entity. But that is blowing my mind. It's amazing. It's amazing. We may not know what is going on through here on the wildlife side. I mean, if they know, if it's on the scientific books and it's public, I would like to know. What are those? I don't know much about fish species anyway. I don't. I barely can probably tell a largemouth bass from a smallmouth bass. What? One's got a smaller mouth? They typically got a stripe down them. And there's something called a striper. But where's some more flood sign real quick to conclude this video. And maybe show that stuff that puts out the smell. I mean, just, you can almost see, so look through here. Look, rapids did that. Let's do the broader view. I mean, the flow pushed up leaves. Look, how I didn't even come down here and look at it. This apparently happened in less than 30 days ago. It was either we was having some of them cooler mornings or something, or so wet and cold. I knew it was too cold for me to even come down here. I was wanting to do a video on a particular day and be like, man, all my body can't handle all the walking. Or I mean, you know, customarily, well, I do too much driving when I can, even on private property. You know, but I'm saying I normally like to check out floods, whether I'm videoing it or not. I like to see what's going on, and sometimes I'm proactive about other stuff. But I mean, look there. Water put all that up there. Flowing water. Surely there's no signs of it getting way up here. Little these, and I'm getting to, I'm not used to seeing these growing up. But then again, when you're 12 to 15 years old, how much do you pay attention to stuff? You know, I mean, I don't even know if my grandfather or grandmother would have been able to tell me what this. And I'm sure there's people in Arkansas that easily know what this is. I like the smell of it. The smell is not real strong. You have to be close to it. I've seen it even, I remember first noticing this like summer 2018. Then within relationship, I was downstream from here. We was getting ready to count hay, and we were counting hay together. And anyway, before that fall, we were not far from Little Missouri Falls, and I saw something like this on the edge of a particular county road. This is sycamore. Pretty much lots of sycamores trees. They grow in. They grow in water, near water. I think a cypress tree. We don't have them in this region of Arkansas, but we probably do, but not. I don't know of any immediately through here. I don't know if they're called wild cypress, whatever. But cypress trees tend to grow in or near water as well. But what is this? I saw a patch earlier. I mean, they got that pretty purplish color. I can smell it a little bit, them. And I'm sure the smell is different at a certain level of their maturity. Like, is this pre-bloom or post-bloom? Or in the middle? There's more over there. What is this? I have not a clue. Makes me think of persimmon, but I don't think it's that. Persimmons can grow quite a bit and take over. They're fast-growing trees, but they don't get super big that I'm aware of. That, I don't know if that's rabbit tobacco. It's already dried up and died. It puts out what, yellow seed? I don't know why sometimes I speak dyslexic or whatever. So I mean one word and I say a different one. Look at that. No telling how long that's been there. It's kind of neat. It hasn't broke over. What is this? What was it? Or what? It's dead, but to me, it's what normally called rabbit tobacco. Or what somebody, a cousin of mine years ago, and these little blue, I don't know what them are. Can I find some of the natural leaves quick enough of what, I don't know if it really is rabbit tobacco. I know the leaves are soft. It would be, if you must, it looks like a little pine tree coming up there. That's what that is. They don't stick around in this area very long. Because they can't bend over like apparently a sycamore, I mean not a sycamore, yeah, a sycamore tree. It apparently can bend and come back and keep, it's meant for that type of environment. Pine trees, they're not customarily along a flooding river or in the flood zone of a river. Some trees seem to withstand it better than others, obviously. Okay, the so-called, I know where there's some is, but it's too much to walk. But whatever somebody rightfully or wrongfully told me, rabbit tobacco, they're green leaves, whatever shade of green that is, and these flip-flops suck. I don't even know what kind of blade of grass that is. I know it's not what you want for hay. Did an enemy come and sow seed overnight? Like a thief in the night? Big old beaver stick. See, if I was camped, if I when you're doing like a 5-day camp or whatever, 3 days, you start finding stuff, and you immediately don't want to use it for your campfire wood. You end up having more than one. You lay it. It starts being, you lay one end on one rock and lay the other end on another rock. It starts becoming something else. A stand, a tool, or a prop on something. If you're not just taking all your gear. Let's get the pretty butterfly, the common butterfly. And I need to just shut up. I'm not going to see the so-called rabbit tobacco leaves. I've already seen some this year, but they are, it's going to go too far. I don't feel like chasing you down. Come back. And then there's a bumblebee, or whatever kind of bee them are. And not a hornet, right? What kind of, that's a traditional bumblebee. I show them on the cactus blooms in the yard. I still would like to know what them plants are. They put out that lovely smell. It's a nice smell, but you can't, it's not. Here's the rabbit tobacco. Here it is. There's two of them. I didn't walk through this way recently. I'll get to them plants in a second. This, somebody told me that, honestly, it's the wildlife of Charmin. If if they're so cityfied and they're feeling like they need to use toilet paper and it's an emergency and don't have any, I don't think this will cause an allergy at all. Since I said that, and I learned the hard way by accident, don't ever bite into or even lick the stalk of an elephant ear plant. Believe me, you will regret it in a heartbeat. Within 5 minutes of after doing it, I'm like, what have I done? What has caused this? I had one broken. Because aloe vera, to set this up, to give me a little bit of benefit of the doubt here, just not that, like curiosity killed the cat, like I wasn't really going in that direction. And because one, aloe vera is commonly used. I mean, it's manufactured, put in bottles, or you even break it open and put it on a sunburn on your back if you got a big enough plant for it. At home, not even store-bought aloe vera out of a bottle, manufactured, some kind of dragonfly-looking insect, can't tell. Some kind of bugs all over it. Where are them little bugs? Well, anyway, whether or not this is rabbit tobacco, I mean, I've seen this. I'm accustomed to seeing this all my life. If I'm accustomed to seeing this, I do think this is native to the region. I've not ever took note of it. And I no longer have immediate family members who are alive. It never really was so much my mother, though she did teach me a few things in this area, like honeysuckle. I didn't really get that from my grandmother, but she obviously knew what it was. But more so than even my grandfather. He probably knew some stuff that my grandmother didn't know, but really, as far as me wanting to know, what is that? What is this? Even asking my grandmother, I'm over there mowing my mom's yard. I'm like 12 to 15 years old. She called it a spread nanner or something like that. That's going to be an old school country term. It was a snake, not even a foot long, but it would flatten its head out kind of like a cobra. I catch it. I'm out. I'm mowing. I quit. I'm working to catch the snake. I want to know what it is. Even in the moment, I'm treating it like it's a potential venomous, poisonous snake. And I'm like, I want to know what this is. And somebody tell me if they can. So I catch it. I'm over there. Nobody's home. My mom, I guess, was at work. I'm over there mowing. I quit mowing. Catch the snake on purpose in the moment, and I take it to my grandmother on the other side of the highway, this side of the state highway. I'm like, what is this? She's like, oh, we that's a spread nanner. We call it spread nanner. So it's not poisonous, not venomous? She's like, no. That's all she could tell me. And we don't know. We don't know the technical names and stuff. Like you all the time hear cottonmouth, a cottonmouth snake. Well, they're technically a water moccasin. There's probably technical different species or breeds, but there's a few different breeds, apparently native. A banded snake, Midland snake, they're water snakes, one yellow, I don't know the name of it. I don't think I ever got to take a photo of one of them. So in the past 10 plus years, I've seen 2 to 3 different kinds of water snakes that are apparently not venomous, and I've only seen them a few times in my entire life. And I gave the commentary on this about the catfish? Thank God, literally. I got to take another dip and go home. I don't know. I am home, really. I'm hayfield over there, hayfield over there. I'm on the back 40. Leave me be. What's any concern of yours? Does it matter which section of a 40 of the 340s I'm in? Or what? It'd be 440s. Well, minus the riverbank erosion. Literally since 2006 onward. Some acreage has left. I got a dog sound barking that way. I don't know if somebody's in my yard or not. And plus, when you're that flowing water, if you're very close to an immediate sound, sometimes in however thick a tree deal may be, you can't hear at a distance like you normally would. I guess it'd be obvious. Like all the time, like on a running mower, running tractor, you can't hear unless something's loud enough immediately with you, within 20 feet from you. You can't hear so many thousand feet away.